guys, this is Antonio Prone. Hello. Today, we are going to be showing you guys the Who Was series books. So, we have a bunch of Who Was books. Who is, Who Was. And we're going to be showing you the ones I have, because I have a lot of them, but clearly I don't have the whole set. Because there's thousands of Who Was books. It's very rare to have them all. You can get these anywhere, any bookstore, even if it's not a bookstore. If it's a store that has like books still, but not a bookstore, you can still find it. Because these are very popular. These are one of the most popular books in like the US. So I'm going to be showing you some. And these are going to be ones I have. The ones on the side are borrowed from the Boyden Library. Because there's a library in my town and I borrow books from there. So we're going to be showing you some guys. So I think I have maybe 21 of them in total. That's kind of good for Who Was books series. So you can see it right here, the bin that I set it up. So right here, there's 20 of them, and here are the ones for the. You probably can't see it good, but here are the ones for the library. Right here, so you can see Who Was. The Who Was meaning is that they died. The Who Is books mean that they're still alive. So they could be around in this world. So we're going to be showing you the ones I have. And we'll see if you're any interested in Who Was books or Who Is, if you never heard of them. A lot of people have heard of Who Was books all around the world. They're very popular and millions of people know them. So we're going to be showing you. So you can see my collection right here. Right there, right? So we're going to be showing you books by books. So I'm right here. So we're going to grab one and show you. So first, let's do the first book. So the first book is, I'll show you right here. The first book is The Great Barrier Reef. So The Great Barrier Reef is a book that it's about ocean animals swimming. It's a very interesting book for you guys to know if you want to read it. If you're very interested in, you can absolutely read it. You can borrow it. So it's about a great barrier that lives in the ocean. See, you can tell right there. There's a huge turtle in the cover of it. So next book is I'll show you right here. The solar system. Who is our solar system? So the solar system is they talk about the planets, our galaxy, the Milky Way. They talk about everything about this book that you can imagine if you were interested in planets. You can read that book. That'll tell you a lot of things to know. So we're gonna move on to our next book. Our next book is, we're not going to take them out. We're going here. Where is the Bermuda Triangle? So Bermuda Triangle is a very dangerous thing. Planes have been lost. They have disappearing in the Bermuda Triangle. It can fit 3 states in it. That's huge. I wonder if it's probably even bigger than Alaska. Because Alaska is the biggest state in the United States. So I think it could be much bigger in Alaska. It can fit maybe 2 states with Alaska. So we did the Bermuda Triangle. Now we're gonna move on to some people, but we still have some Who Is books. Where is? So next book we have is Nintendo. A lot of people in the world. I'll show you one more time. The little Mario there. A lot of people love Nintendo. It's so popular. Mostly everybody in the world plays games, video games, sorry for that. Video games, just anything. Play on Xbox, you can play anywhere. This book right here tells you who made Mario, who made Nintendo. This is a very interesting book. I think a lot of these people that they tell what is Nintendo, I think a lot of them are from the 1800s. Maybe even from Mario, probably. Because Mario is a very old game. So now we're going to move on to some Who Was books. Because I don't have any Who Is books, except right here in my pile. I have one that you can't see. But we're going to move on to some Who Was books that I keep. Not the library one. So, Have you ever heard of who was Gallo? I don't know how to say his name, but who was Gallo? So he's a guy that looks for planets, like the solar system. He probably looks for these planets. I think he's a very cool guy. So yeah, he's a very cool guy. We need to start moving on. Okay, next we have is who was Jesus? I'll show you one more time, guys. Right there. Who was Jesus? He died like 2,000 years ago. He's a very, very, very old person. I have a book, but I didn't bring. It was Julius Caesar. He is even older. He's the king of Romans, so it's Romans in Italy. So our next book is who is Jackie Chan. So this is a guy that's still alive. I think you guys mostly all know Jackie Chan. He's a professional like fighter. Not wrestling, he's like a fighter. Like Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee died. I don't keep Bruce Lee though. Next book we have is Albert Einstein. He's a very, very famous scientist. He died like 19. I'm not sure when he died, but he's just a very famous person. You guys should read about him if like you're interested in like math. Next book is my favorite book, obviously. Who does not like Who Were the Three Stooges? These are, I'll show you one more time. Maybe you guys didn't see it. Three Stooges. These guys were mostly one of the funniest people that I can watch on YouTube. And I'm serious. Moe, Larry, Curly, and Chip. That's their names. Yeah, they're very funny names. Okay, next is Thomas. I don't know his last name, but who was Thomas? He's the guy that made lights. So made like light bulbs and lights. Next we have is who was Daley Boona? Might have said it wrong, but who was Daley Boona? I'll just leave it here for now. So Daley Boona, I don't know his name, but his name is, I think he's like an animal thing. I'll show you one more time, guys. Right there. He's like an animal. He was friends with Davy Crockett. And it was a very funny name. Davy Crockett is right here. I have him right there. He was a venture guy that showed about the pathways. Next is a very interesting one. Pearl Harbor. So Pearl Harbor was about when like World War II. I'm not sure, but I need to read about it to find out exactly. Next book is who was Mary Curran. I can tell from the picture she is a scientist. Not sure what scientist. I have no idea who she was, so that's why I got her at Barnes & Nobles. So next book is Ben Franklin. I think is Ben Franklin is supposed to be a president. I think he was a president. I'm not sure. Next one is going to be very interesting. Who was Nikola Tesla? Not sure really what's his name, but he made electricity. So like Thomas, except like electricity. Well, actually, both of them very, very smart. The next guy is who was Milton Shelton. He was the one that made a big chocolate fountain that you can go to visit. I don't know where it is, but it's supposed to be very popular there. Not right now because of COVID. Who was AJ? So this is the guy that made ketchup. He made ketchup. I can show you one more time. Here's the white hair. The guy that made ketchup. I know he's kind of like a funny guy. I think a lot of you guys will like him. Where is Mount Everest? So Mount Everest is the biggest in the world. Obviously, biggest in the world. People die when they go there because they can be snow. They're whatever that is. Well, we're going to move on to the next Who Was book I have, and this is the last one that I own. So the last one that I own, who was, I don't know his name, Jenny. He's a guy that died 1,000 years ago. I'll show you one more time. It's like an army. He's a guy that presented like Asia. He found them. I'm not really sure. But we're going to move on to some Whedon Library books that I have. So here is Mel. He's the one that made the word. Now here is Steve Irwin. He's a guy that's an animal guy, Crocker. Here is who is Dalai Lama. He's a guy that like in India, like in China. I'm not really sure. He's like a priest. Who is Amelia Earhart? You guys should know her. She is the first one to drive a plane. Who was Henry Ford? We already read him. He was about like the first one to ride a Ford car. And then we have last one. Who was Blackbeard? This guy died a long time ago. We also have who was Mark Twain. He's downstairs. So I didn't get it. Okay, guys. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you can get some Who Was books because they're everywhere. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.